On April 24, 1533, in the fortress of Dillenburg, a child was born who would shake the foundations of Europe. They called him William. History would call him the Silent, but his legacy would roar across centuries. Even as a boy, William possessed an unusual quality, the ability to listen more than he spoke. His siblings chattered endlessly, but William watched, learned, and remembered. At 11, the quiet German boy became one of the wealthiest nobles in Europe, but the inheritance came with a price. He must be raised in the emperor's court, educated as a Catholic, trained as a Habsburg loyalist. He left behind the simple Lutheran faith of his parents for the glittering Catholic world of emperors and kings. The boy who departed was German. The man who would return would belong to the Netherlands. William mastered the art of court life, 6 languages, military strategy, diplomatic subtlety. Charles V called him mon fils, my son. The emperor trusted him above his own blood. His first marriage was strategic but sincere. Anna brought him vast Dutch estates and a connection to the Netherlands that would define his destiny. In her quiet grace, he found genuine affection. War was the university of princes. At 21, William commanded armies against France, proving himself not just a courtier but a commander. Yet each battle taught him the terrible cost of conflict. A moment of careless conversation changed everything. The French king revealed Spain's secret plan to destroy Protestant faith in the Low Countries. William said nothing, but he never forgot. This was the moment the Silent truly learned the power of discretion. The greatest emperor since Charlemagne chose William's shoulder to lean upon in his moment of surrender. As Charles V abdicated, William understood that loyalty to the man did not mean loyalty to his heir. Anna died, bringing their 4th child into the world. At 25, William learned that wealth and power meant nothing against death's claim. The man who could command armies could not save the woman he loved. Philip was not Charles. Where the old emperor had loved, the son suspected. Where Charles had embraced diversity, Philip demanded conformity. William accepted power from a man he now knew to be his enemy. Political necessity drove him to marry Anna of Saxony. She brought Lutheran prestige and German alliances. She also brought madness, scandal, and heartbreak. It was a mistake that would haunt him for years. The rage erupted like a summer storm. Across the Netherlands, Protestant fury destroyed Catholic churches. William watched his world crack apart, caught between the faith of his childhood and the faith of his subjects, between loyalty to a king and love for his people. Philip's answer to unrest was iron. The Duke of Alba brought an army and a mandate: crush all opposition. William knew what was coming. The question was no longer if he would resist, but when. On a spring night in 1567, the richest man in the Netherlands became a fugitive. William abandoned his palaces, his wealth, his position, but he took with him something more dangerous than any army: an idea. The idea of freedom. The courtier became a revolutionary. In his family's Protestant fortress, William shed the last vestiges of his Catholic education. He would fight not for personal gain, but for something he called liberty of conscience. Alba's council earned its name in blood. Thousands were executed, nobles and commoners alike. William's dearest friends died on the scaffold. The message was clear: submit or perish. William chose a third path: rebellion. With borrowed money and hired soldiers, William invaded his own country. The people called him liberator, but liberation requires more than ideals. It requires victory, and victory would prove desperately elusive. His brother Louis died with thousands of others in the massacre at Gemenden. William had sent him to battle. William bore the weight of every death. The price of rebellion was becoming terrifyingly clear. The Prince of Orange, once among Europe's wealthiest men, was now bankrupt. His armies melted away. His cause seemed lost. But in poverty, William discovered something that wealth had obscured: the strength of pure conviction. If he could not win on land, he would fight at sea. The sea beggars were pirates, brigands, and fanatics, but they were also believers in William's cause. In their ramshackled ships, the rebellion found new life. His personal life became public humiliation. Anna's betrayal with a lawyer, her return to Catholicism, the divorce proceedings, all were ammunition for Spanish propaganda. They called him hypocrite, failed husband, pretender. William endured, silent as ever. April 1st, 1572, April Fool's Day, became the birthday of Dutch freedom. What began as an accident became a symbol. Briel's capture sparked uprisings across Holland and Zeeland. The impossible seemed suddenly possible. He returned not as a prince demanding obedience, but as a servant accepting duty. The people chose him. He had not chosen them. This was something new in Europe, a leader who derived authority from the consent of the governed. The Spanish answer to rebellion was iron. At Naarden, they killed everyone: men, women, children. William witnessed the charred remains of homes and hopes. Each atrocity steeled his resolve and swelled his ranks with those who had nothing left to lose. To save Leiden, he drowned the land itself. He ordered the dikes cut, flooding the richest farmland in Europe. Better a drowned country than a dead one, he said. The gamble worked. Leiden was saved. The revolution survived. A sword could win battles, but only knowledge could win the future. William gave Leiden a university, the first free Protestant university in the Netherlands. Scholarship became a weapon of resistance. Charlotte had fled a convent to embrace Protestant faith. She understood sacrifice. In her, William found not just a wife, but a partner in struggle. Theirs was a marriage born of shared conviction and, against all odds, love. For one shining moment it worked. Catholics and Protestants, North and South, all 17 provinces united. The pacification of Ghent promised religious tolerance and joint resistance. William had achieved the impossible: unity. Philip declared him outlaw and offered a king's ransom for his head. Any man could kill William of Orange and be rewarded. The death sentence hung over him like a sword, yet William refused to hide. William answered tyranny with words. His apology was a revolutionary document, justifying resistance to unjust rulers, asserting the right of people to choose their governors. Ideas, he proved, could be as dangerous as armies. Desperate times demanded dangerous allies. William offered the crown of the Netherlands to a French Catholic duke, hoping French power would balance Spanish might. It was pragmatism over principle, and it